Hello, beautiful friends. Today's project is one of the easiest things that I do in the kitchen. I call them soup starters. And basically it's a mirepoix. I do onion, celery, carrot. If I don't have celery, I'll use something like kale stems or chard stems, beet stems. I'm gonna make some of these up for Chloe to bring to college. She doesn't love celery, so I'll be doing chard stems in those instead. And then I just make sure that I'm really careful when I label them. I do not add garlic to these. I just do the straight vegetables. And then I know that I'll have garlic in the pantry. And if I'm worried about the garlic going bad, then I might go ahead and cut that up. So if I have a couple of heads of garlic that just are looking a little shady, those could totally go in. For the most part, I just do this really simply, just the vegetables, get them in there. Now, I don't blanch these, I put them in raw. I use little containers. I use these little freezer ready tainers that have lasted me quite a while. This one's a little beat up, but they usually don't get beat up. This means probably a dog grabbed it. It doesn't have any holes, but it might have just gotten grabbed by an animal. I get those in little containers, label them very carefully, get them, and I put the month that I made them on there, because I want to eat these between anywhere from like 4 to 6 months. If I'm going beyond that, I'm probably going to want to blanch the vegetables. There are enzymes in the vegetables that start to break the vegetables down. When you blanch, you kind of stop that process. That doesn't mean freezer things last that long. I find with the freezer, you're really pushing things if you go, you know, over 18 months, but some things last. Like there's fruit we've had in the freezer for a while. And so this is just, it's the absolute easiest thing I do because I don't have to cook anything. I just chop it up and get it in the freezer. And what this does is this, because I don't have cold storage, this allows me to use up a bunch of things that may just not have the staying power, like the onions and the carrots may not have the staying power that someone with cold storage has. I have tried to keep carrots in the fridge. It hasn't worked so great. I'm sure that there's ways to do it. I just haven't figured that out yet, mastered that. But we also don't have tons of fridge space. We have a lot of freezer space. So that's where we put the bulk of our preserving. So let's get chopping. So what I do is I cut up each of the vegetables and I get them into bowls. So I'm gonna make a big bowl of carrots, I'm gonna make a big bowl of onion, I'm gonna make a big bowl of celery, I'll make a big bowl of other stems that might be replacing the celery. And then I will go ahead and assemble each one and just label it. So if I'm doing something that doesn't have carrot or it doesn't have celery, I'll make sure that I label that correctly. And then these just sit in the door of our freezer really nicely. And then if I go to start a soup or a fried rice or a frittata, there they are, ready to go. Okay, I'll see you back after I've chopped everything. Oh my god, this onion is so severe. I couldn't even see what I was doing. I was like blind while I was cutting that onion. Okay, it's as simple as that. Layering everything in, deciding how much you want, equal parts or a little bit more of something. Popping your top on. And that's it. So I still probably can make about 2 or 3 more of these. Now I know that I said that you probably want to eat these before, like, you know, in about 4 to 6 months. But I'll be honest with you, I just found one that had been in the freezer for over a year and I used it and it was totally fine. So, you know, it is what it is. You do you. All right, that was an easy one today. Thanks for being here, appreciate you. Bye. All right, guys, I'm sitting here editing the video and I just realized I didn't tell you how to use these. You take them out of your freezer. I usually let them sit for like 10-15 minutes, maybe half an hour, and then I dump it into the pot pretty much frozen. You can use your hand and kind of scrunch them up or use the spoon and kind of get them to break apart, but really I use them frozen. I don't thaw them because then they kind of turn to mush. So just wanted to mention that.